Hello, U.S. History 101 late start. Welcome to week one. Now, this is Sunday, so class doesn't officially start until Monday. So if you're watching this video right after I post it, don't worry, you're actually ahead of the game. But right off the bat, I just want to remind everyone, you're going to see it in writing in various parts, from announcements to the syllabus. But I do not use the course calendar. You will not see homework assignments popping up on your dashboard. There's a reason for this, and my reason is to your advantage, but I'm not going to go into that for now. But what I just need you to know is that you need to look at the weekly work objectives, and you will see that the work is set up to be very consistent. For this week, I posted this in one of my previous announcements today. It'll be like a normal week. You'll have some things due on Thursday and then on Sunday. Most of the time, you're going to have two parts to each week because remember, it's a 10-week course. You're going to do all of part one due by Thursday at midnight. I will then open up on Thursday the second part, and the second part of work will be due on Sunday. So each week, these two parts that you're usually going to have will be discussions, video notes, and a small paper. That's what we have. And sometimes I will take away a paper. I will usually give less work instead of more, but you need to be ready to get to work with this class. This is a 10-week class is no joke. You got to move along. So I'm going to help you out as much as possible, though. So you're going to see along with this video that I have some helpful tips to think about in terms of the papers that you write and the video notes. So please pay attention to those very carefully. There are things that will get you zeros on paper. I don't grade that hard, but I have some things that I do not compromise on where I will just not even deal with the paper. When I first look at your Sunday papers or your Thursday paper, in other words, the paper for the section that's due, whenever that is, whether it's a page or 2 pages, I first look to see, are there parentheses with citations within the text, not at the end in the bibliography. For this paper, you do not have to use MLA in college for a history course. You would normally use Chicago style. You're not required to do that. But I give you an example of what I want to see. I want to see the book author or the title. And then, for a book, for the textbook, like for the Zen book, I want to see it say like Zen. That's probably the easiest, and the page number, or you could put people's history and the page number in parentheses, or you can have in parentheses the article that I have in the reading link. So yeah, I'm going to look for immediately parentheses. Where's the citations? Remember that citations are for direct quotes and for paraphrases. So if I see a paragraph and there's all this history there, I would expect to see a citation at the end of that paragraph, even if you don't have a direct quote. Because where did you get this information from? And it's going to come out of, and it could be the videos. So you can have the video, parentheses, you could say Pollock video 1, for example. It should just indicate where the information came from. So when I look at your paper, when it comes to me on Canvas, I'm going to first look for that. If I don't see that, it's a 0 paper. Now, if I see that, the second thing I look for before I even read are dates. A history paper without dates is not a history paper. And I don't mean telling me what day you sent it in. Canvas tells me that. You don't have to do that. I do have students get confused on this sometimes. I should just have an idea what time period we're talking about, right? What's the time frame? of the subject matter being talked about. So I want to see some dates in there. And then, as I read, by the way, okay, I need to step back. The citations better have only sources that we covered in class. These are not research papers. You're utilizing everything that comes to you in the class. And so if I see, I don't care if it's a good source, if I didn't have it in the readings modules, and if it wasn't in the videos posted, you cannot use it. And if you use that in the text, that's also a 0. So you get a 0 if you have no citations within the text, if you have no dates, or you use outside sources. Okay? Now, outside of those 3 things, I'm going to encourage you on your writing if you need help, to go to the writing center or not. But I'm pretty generous, especially if you stick into the topics that we're covering. So that's one thing I just want to make clear. I am very flexible, and I will work with all of you on anything that you are struggling with. It's always nerve-wracking to have your first week to school to figure out what angle I'm coming from, what to do. Okay, so just take a deep breath, do your best, try your best to follow the instructions, and I will help you out. So the first week in particular. Now, I mentioned not to just rely on your phones, because I don't know if Canvas fixed this, but what happens is let's say I give you less grades or I give you a 0. Especially in the first few weeks, I'll always explain to you in the notes. I'll be typing in and telling you, hey, this is what happened, and here's how you can fix it. And I will give you a chance to fix it. But on your phones, I believe it only shows the grade. So then you just look and you say, oh, Mr. Pollock gave me a 0. He gave me very low points. Well, that stinks. And I'm trying to communicate with you, like, hey, what's the problem and what can be done to fix it? But you're not seeing that part. Okay. So just keep that in mind. So you really want to use your laptop or your desktop or something else that, I don't know. I do wish Canvas was a little bit better on some of this. I'm just like, I wish it wouldn't post the grade at all if it's not going to let you see my comments when you're using the phone, but maybe they fixed that. Anyways, and let's see else here. I'm shaking up the table. Okay, I think that's the most I want to cover. We're starting off with the very beginning, which is, in my opinion, I would like to do more on Native American and Indigenous history in the United States. But I think this at least gives you a chance to kind of reflect upon that as we go forward. And you'll see in my history, I try to incorporate as much, I try to make my history as inclusive as possible for all the people that deserve, different groups that deserve to be incorporated into this history and given their proper due respect and mention. So anyhow, I hope you're having, you're going to have a good week to start off. There's a lot going on in the world. In the United States, with weather, with the globe, with very distressing, disturbing war events, and maybe more coming. I understand distractions, also depending on what your family is involved with or have connections to. Please feel free to always talk to me or ask questions if you want to go in any of the history that's going on as well. My specialty that I worked on, even with my bachelor's degree, was Asia and the Islamic world, and world history. I have a decent grasp on Middle East history. I have a very, I'd say, better than most, at least from what I'm seeing. I have a pretty good grasp on. And I definitely get frustrated with the amount of willful ignorance that comes out of people in power who have to know better about a lot of what I see being said, and how things are brought into, I don't know, the whole thing is a disaster. But you're here for US 101, and right now I'm going to focus on that. So we will be doing this, and hopefully you'll be able to enjoy this class, even though it's a lot of work. So I'll end it there, and we'll be in touch. Stay cool out there. It's going to be another hot one. It looks like Modesto will never go below 89 again. That's what it feels like. All right. Take care, everyone.